Alright, so I'm cutting these enlist beans. They're actually not doing as good as what I thought they were going to do. They're probably doing 55, 60, but they were so tall, very tall, that I thought they would do better, but I got all that cut back there today. I ain't got much over here left to do, and then I'll be done. Then we'll get back into plenish. Let me see here, the beans over there. Now they're enlist too. They're enlist beans too, and they're the same bean, I think, just a shorter. They're the same bean, I think, just a shorter day bean, and now they got a lot of pods on them. I think we've actually had better luck with our wheat beans doing better than the early beans. And it was a good year for rain and everything else with us, but wheat beans just seem to do better, I think. A lot of people don't think so, but I think they do. We've been averaging right around 55, 60 with our early beans. Now these beans right here, they're tall as hell. The wind blew them over a little bit, but they got some gaps in between their pods, whereas the enlist beans over there, they're a little bit shorter, but man, they are just, you couldn't stick your finger between the pods. That's how many there is. So I don't know what the difference is. Like I said, they're wheat beans, but you know, 55, 60 for these. This is the first year we tried them. I guess all right. They really cleaned their fields up, so we did have a weed problem on these 3 fields back here of Palmer, and that's the main reason why we planted them here instead of the plenish. Now the plenish have been doing very well, you know, so we'll probably stick with plenish. If plenish ever comes out with an enlist bean, every other bean is going to be out of business, because you know, you can get 65, 75 more cents a bushel. It just makes sense to do it. So, you turn around here on the end. But they, our plenish beans have done good. Very good this year. Very happy with them so far. And we haven't, I mean, we've been in some good farms, but we haven't gotten into our best farms yet. So that's going to be interesting to see once we get in some real good ground that we have, what it's going to be like. But these are doing, you know, good. The one reason why we planted these mainly was just to clean these 3 fields up. There was, like I said, there was some palmer in them. We got it cleaned up. I mean, they are good for spraying. I mean, because I can take that Liberty or Enlist and smoke that palmer, where, you know, plenish, you can't spray that stuff on them. So that really saved us there this year. But once we get it all cleaned up, we'll probably go back to plenish on this farm. So, or that's what I'm thinking. Anyway, so I got about 5 more acres here to do, and then I'm going to move over to the home farm and get back in some plenish beans. So I got to get some more ground open over there, because that's where I'm going to plant some more wheat at. So, and then it's supposed to rain tomorrow, and then be cloudy for a couple days, and then rain again. So we're going to cut, as long as we can cut, we're going to cut tonight. So hopefully this wind keeps going, and I'll rock and roll all night. So see you. All right, so we're back cutting today. Plenish, cutting right here at the home farm. I got to cut this field, and then I got to finish that field up over there that I was cutting the other night. The beans are cutting pretty good today. We had wind all night last night and this morning, so we got an earlier start than we normally would, but they're dry and they're yielding excellent. These are plenish 4.2s here that I'm cutting now. And they got pods all up and down. We're gonna finish these 2 fields up and then move over to our neighbors. He's got like 25 acres. We're gonna knock that out real quick and get him done. He also owned a farm that I was cutting the other day with the onion on it. We're going to knock that out, get it done, and we're going to move to our bigger farm across the highway. For us, it's a big field. It's like a 94-acre field. So we're going to move there and get that done, start on it hopefully tonight, and get everything done. Everything goes well, get that done, start on it tonight, get it open and start cutting, get some trucks loaded, and then go ahead and hopefully finish it tomorrow and just keep moving, trying to get some done while the weather's good. So that's all that's going on today. I had to replace a couple teeth on the header. Got that done over the weekend or last couple days while we had that rain. We had probably an inch and a half rain. It was like an all-day little soaker rain. But the wind the wind was blowing 30 miles an hour while it was raining. We had that little drizzle, so it really wasn't that bad. And then the wind's been blowing ever since, so it actually has dried it out quick. I mean, you wouldn't even know it that we got that rain. I got the sprayer full. I got to spray these two fields. On the inroads, they had a little bit of like grass right on the floor of the ground. So I'm going to spray these two fields, and then I'm going to put weed in them. So I'll be drilling weed either at night or early in the morning. And these two fields, it's about 65 acres. Look, I got my brother over here. He's videoing me now. He's going up the hall. It's about 65 acres, something like that. Then we're going to finish our weed out in on these two fields, and then we'll be done with that. And then just steady rolling into beans, trying to get done. We'll have all the wheat beans done probably 2 weeks if the weather's right, and then the 110 acres of late beans after corn, they're steady dying. The 3.6s are dying good. The 3.9s aren't dying as quick, but they're starting to turn, and they're full of pods. Like I said, the John Deere agronomist has been coming out and checking on them, and he's really impressed. He hadn't seen anybody do it before around here, so I told him I did it last year. So, but this year I believe they're going to yield a lot better. Last year they did like 32, but we had Plenish beans. This year we got regular list beans. It seemed like the Plenish beans didn't want to dry down as quick, so we went with just a regular bean this year, and they're dying pretty good. So, but it'll be sometime in December when we cut them, I'm sure. So we'll just see how it goes. But they look good. I mean, full of pods. Some of them aren't very tall, but they're tall enough, you know, you can. It's just more on the ends, like the very end row next to a driveway or something is where they're lacking height at. They wanted us to plant a group 4 bean, and we didn't. We went with a late 3 bean, but I was scared. Last year we went with a 4 bean, and they did good. They got the height and everything, but they didn't do as good as I wanted. So this year we tried a different one. We thought that maybe with the trying to grow its height out, where we lost some of our yield at. But like I said, they look good this year. So we'll just wait and see what happens when we get in. Well, I think they'll probably do 35, 40 is what I'm thinking. But that's still good after 192 bushel, 75-day corn. I can't complain about that at all. So, or I'm not going to complain. Let's just hope the prices hold pretty good. So we're going to increase our acres next year to 300 on early corn, and then beans after. It seems like it's been working out well, so that just helped me gain 300 acres of farmland without having to gain 300 acres of farmland. So that's what I'm looking at it as, because it's so hard to get farmland around here. So, and the guys that, you know, are in their 80s, you think they're going to retire, and they're, you know, I don't blame them. They're going to work until they die, and you don't ever get to pick their land up. And then if something does happen, all of a sudden their land's gone. You know, some other big farmers swooped in and picked it up. So I don't know, but that just helps us gain land without actually having to gain land. Is how I look at it. So it increases my acres. So I'd like to increase it every year. If I had pivots, that's all I would do. Whatever I was going to do, wheat and beans, and then the rest of it, I wouldn't even plant long season corn. I'd do 200 bushel early season. Well, that was 200 bushel, 192 without irrigation. So just think what that would do with irrigation. So if I had pivots, that's all I would focus on. Early corn and beans behind it. That would really increase our land a lot.